and welcome to another episode of Rob's World of Boxing. Let's get it. Alright, I want to get to the fight cards that happened over the weekend. Talk about some fight cards that's going to happen this upcoming weekend. Touch, if we got time, because there's got a lot of fight cards coming this upcoming weekend. Touch on a couple other topics, but if not, touch on one or two. But alright, let's get into it. Alright, first card I want to talk about transpired Saturday, April 1st. It was at the O2 Arena in London. It was a DAZN promotion. DAZN, in this case, was Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, all those guys, man. It came on at 2 p.m. Eastern time. It was main event was a 12-round contest at heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. It was Anthony Joshua versus Jermaine Franklin. Anthony Joshua was 24-3, 22 KOs, and Jermaine Franklin was 21-1, 14 KOs. Let's get into the fight. This was Anthony Joshua's first time in a while, man, fighting a fight that wasn't for a belt. You know, he's always got something on the line, always got some motion, always got something going, you know. So this was the first time, you know, he didn't have a belt in a long time. All right. But Anthony Joshua, this was his first fight with Derrick James too, his new trainer, after being with Roberto Garcia his last fight. And he looked good his first fight with Derrick James, man. In my opinion, he was using the jab well, keeping Jermaine Franklin on the outside. And he'll come with that power hand from time to time when needed, man. And he showed well, in my opinion, man. A lot of other people were saying he looked at timid and looked at, for lack of a better word, soft. But I didn't see that, man. I seen I mean, of course he's gonna not, you know, he's gonna have some kind of, you know, apprehensiveness because he, you know, he has went down. He knows his chin is susceptible, you know, so he's gonna be apprehensive. But I didn't see too much, you know, to be concerned about. I like what Derrick James is doing with Anthony Joshua, man. And as I said, he looked good. Let's get to the result. The judges had, one judge had to fight 118 to 111, and the final two judges had to fight 117 to 111 for your winner by unanimous decision. Anthony Joshua, man, getting back to his winning ways and hopefully back into title contention eventually. Good job, Anthony Joshua, man, getting that win. I feel like Anthony Joshua, like I said, he looked good with Derrick James. And I want to see, you know, in there, I don't feel like it's over for him. He was real depressed after his last fight. You know, I mean, you give a lot to boxing, man, with the training camps, with, you know, just being disciplined, being focused in there. You give a lot. So, you know, when you lose, it probably weigh heavy on you, man. So I can see why he was probably, you know, going through some shit. But man, as you can see from this fight, it's not over for you. Keep pushing, keep going. It's a lot of fights out there for you, man. I love to see Anthony Joshua in there with an Andy Ruiz. I love to see Anthony Joshua in there with a even Deontay Wilder still, man. That'd be a big money fight, man, an amazing fight. I don't know if, you know, Anthony Joshua really could win that fight, but it'll be an amazing money fight nonetheless, man, and I will pay for it. So yeah, man, Anthony Joshua got a lot of options. He's a real big name in the UK, man, so let's get some money. Good job, Anthony Joshua, Derrick James getting that win, man. Oh, and also on the undercard, man, we had, you know, it was a pretty cool undercard for DAZN, but I'm not going to get into the whole undercard. Campbell Hadden got a first round KO win, man. He KO'd an opponent who was 10-7, Lewis Fielding. So it really wasn't nothing to write home about. I feel like he probably was set up to get that KO win. But shit, he did get it. So good job, Campbell Haddon, keeping the Haddon name alive, man. That KO win. All right. Let's talk about another card. Well, the other card that happened Saturday, April 1st, man. It was only 2 cards last weekend. All right. This card was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It was on ESPN, ESPN Plus. It was a top ranked card. Top rank is Bob M. All those guys. All right, it was Robeisy Ramirez versus Isaac Dogbay for the vacant WBO Featherweight belt, man. It came on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If I didn't say it, the Anthony Joshua fight came on at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, let's get into the card. First fight I want to talk about on the card was a 6-round contest at junior welterweight. Junior welterweight is 140 pounds, if you didn't know. It was Rohan Polanco versus Ricardo Quares. Rohan Polanco was 8-0, 5 KOs. He's from the DR, and he's a 2020 Olympian. Ricardo Quares was 12-1, and he's from Oxnard, California. And his only loss came from Jermaine Ortiz, who recently just lost to Vasily Lomachenko, which is nothing to be ashamed about. All right, all 3 judges had to fight 60-54, giving a unanimous decision win to Rohan Polanco, man. Polanco looked good in my opinion, but he needs some work, as you would expect from a fighter who's 8-0. You know, he's young in his career. Of course, he's gonna need to work on some things. But yeah, man, he went to the body well in the fight. In my, Polanco being, in my opinion, and he's a solid young prospect, man. Good job, Rohan Polanco. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 6-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Abdullah Mason versus Eric Benitez. Abdullah Mason was 6-0, 5 KOs from Cleveland, Ohio, and he's one of Tim Bradley's double-stamped prospects, man. His opponent, Eric Benitez. Eric Benitez is 4-3, 1 KO from Guadalajara, Mexico. Yeah. He has never faced an opponent with what the hell is that? Whatever that is. But anyway, he was a Mexican. He is a Mexican prosecutor, man. So in Mexico, he's a prosecutor and all that shit. I don't know what the fuck I just wrote there, right there. Oh, okay. He has never faced an opponent with a loss. So that's good to know. He has been a doormat for undefeated fighters, basically. So he's facing nothing but undefeated fighters. All right, let's get into it. Abdullah Mason hit Benitez, man, with a counter right punch, man, that put Benitez right to bed. It was like a check hook, and when Benitez was coming in, and it checked him, and yeah, did what it was supposed to do, man. Jesus. Yeah, man, like I said, it put Benitez right to bed in front of all those people. He was asleep. And it gave Abdullah Mason the first round KO win over Eric Benitez, man. Good job, Abdullah Mason, getting that win, man. Abdullah Mason is nice as hell, man. I see why he's one of Tim Bradley's double-stamped prospects, man. Yeah, man, he's another player at lightweight, man, which is a deep division. So, yeah, man, I expect to see and hear from Abdullah Mason in the future, man. Good job, Abdullah, getting that win. Next fight I want to talk about on the card was a 4-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Emiliano Vargas versus Edward Uvalde. Emiliano Vargas was 3-0, 2 KOs, and he is the youngest Vargas brother, man. Edward Uvalde was 2-3-2 with 2 KOs. Nothing to write home about. Let's get into it. Vargas is good and aggressive, man, but he needs to remember defense, man. He forgets to cover up, from time to time, which is to be expected in his young career. But it could be a big mistake moving forward if he don't correct it now. But like I said, at this point in his career, it really doesn't matter, man. Vargas scored a second round KO win over Edgar Uvalde, man. It was a straight left. And like I said, he was just too much for his opponent, giving Emiliano Vargas the second round KO win over Edgar Uvalde. Good job, Emiliano Vargas. All right, let's move on. Next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 6-round contest of light heavyweight. Light heavyweight is 175 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Dante Benjamin Jr. versus Jasper McCargo III. Dante Benjamin Jr. was 5-0 with 3 KOs. He is from Cleveland, Ohio. And his alias is Free Smoke, man. All right, his opponent was Jasper McCargo. He was 4-3, 2 KOs. Well, 4-3, 2 draws, 2 KOs. And he's from I'm from Oakland. He's from the Bay, man. He's from Richmond, California. So, yeah, man, I was rooting for Jasper. But yeah, it didn't mean much, man. Jasper got dropped with a nice uppercut in the first round. Yeah, man, he got dropped in the beginning of the second round as well, man. McCargo, he was actually kind of funny, man. He was flopping everywhere. I think he went down like 4 times in the second round. You could tell he didn't want to be in there, man. He was looking scared. He didn't want to be there. You could tell, man. He was looking for a way out, and Dante Benjamin gave him a way out, man, late in the second round, man. He ended up, on another one of the flops, hit him, though, on the flop down, and the ref had seen enough, giving Dante Benjamin Jr. the second round TKO win over Jasper McCargo III, who made the Bay look horrible. Well, actually, I'll say he made the Bay look okay, man, because he's there. Nigga could be in jail or, even worse, But he did something positive. He's in the ring, getting beat on, but he is in the ring. So good job, Jasper McCargo, and good job, for real, Dante Benjamin Jr. getting that win and continuing your winning ways. All right, let's get into the next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was an 8-round contest at junior welterweight. Junior welterweight is 140 pounds. Didn't know. It was Tiger Johnson versus Alfonso Oliveira. All right. Tiger Johnson was 7-0, 5 KOs. He is a 2020 Olympian. Alfonso Oliveira was 12-7, 3 draws, 4 KOs, and he hadn't been stopped in his career. All right. Johnson got hurt in the first round. It was an overhand right. While Tiger was loading up too long, man, he was trying to, put Oliveira out early in the fight. You could tell he would load up and got caught, man, loading up. All right, but he recovered well. 6th round, Tiger listened to his corner when he told him to stand your ground and stop jumping back. Quit being so jumpy in there and get your shit off, man. And he went out, he did exactly what his corner said, and he actually almost dropped Oliveira in that round. Oliveira showed some great balance, man, not putting his hand on the mat. Tiger Johnson hit him hard as fuck in that round, standing his ground, man. It was a straight right that did it, man. Yeah, like I said, he didn't go down, but he almost did. But yeah, man, I just want to give some props to Tiger Johnson, for regaining his composure in that fight, man. And because he, after round 1, when it went bad, he could have, when he got rocked, it could have went bad, and he could have, basically, threw balls to the wall, threw game plan out the window and all shit, and and he could have been a loss. But he, like I said, he did what he was supposed to, and he started boxing, and he boxed his way to a unanimous decision win, man. All three judges having it 80-72 for your winner, Tiger Johnson, by unanimous decision, keeping his winning ways alive, man. Good job, Tiger Johnson. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card, it was 8-round contest, a heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. It was Jeremiah Milton versus Fabio Maldonado. Okay. All right, Jeremiah Milton was 8-0, 6 KOs, 28 years of age. He's from Tulsa, Oklahoma, so this was a hometown fight for him. And Fabio Maldonado was 29-6, 28 KOs, 43 years of age, and he's from Brazil. Well, he is from Brazil, and he's a former UFC fighter. And yeah, man, he looked like it. His technique was all over the place. He didn't stand a chance from the beginning, man. I don't know who the hell he got those 28 knockouts against, man, because I swear to God, I probably would have put the paws on him. I ain't going to disrespect him like that because I ain't no trained boxer. But I didn't like what I seen, and I didn't even really watch the fight, to be honest, man. I kind of walked out on that motherfucker and went and got something to eat. Yeah, man. One judge had to fight 78-72. Other two judges had to fight 80-70, giving the unanimous decision win to Jeremiah Milton. And as I said, this fight was boring as fuck. I didn't watch it. Good job, Jeremiah Milton. But I was not impressed with you. And I will need to see more. I want to see you better in there with better opposition, man. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't give your fight a chance this. I didn't even watch. All right, let's get into the next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was an 8-round contest at 154 pounds. 154 pounds, the junior middleweight. If you did know, it was Jahai Tucker versus Nicholas. And I ain't even gonna try to pronounce his last name because this motherfucker is crazy. Yeah. All right, Jahai Tucker was 9-0, 5 KOs. He is from Brooklyn, New York, and this was his first fight at 154 pounds after missing weight his last fight at welterweight, so he decided to move up this fight against his opponent, Nicholas, who was 8-1, 6 KOs, and he's from Georgia, not Atlanta, Georgia, somewhere in the world, Georgia, but it's not Atlanta. I don't know where's that, but if you know, slap it in the comments. And if you know how to pronounce Nicholas's last name, and I watched the fight, and I didn't forget, but I don't know how to pronounce it, so slap that in the comments too. All right, like I said, this was Tucker's first fight at 154 pounds, man. Him and Nicholas was actually doing some yapping back and forth on Instagram, man. I guess Tucker wants to fight Xander Zayas, man. A motherfucking problem at 154 pounds, and Nicholas was saying, like, bro, you not even ready for me, let alone Xander Zayas. You a sparring partner, you don't want no work with Xander. You ain't, well, no, he said, because he's Nicholas is Xander's sparring partner. He was saying, I'm Xander's sparring partner, and you are a TikToker. Come see me before you see Xander, basically. And, yeah. So it was a whole dispute over that, man. So there was a lot of bad blood in the fight. All right, Tucker looking very, very sleepy, man, in the first minute of the first round. I ain't gonna lie. Nicholas came out, put the paws on that boy. He was hitting hella hard, hella times. I was surprised Tucker didn't go down. It was just Tucker's heart and will telling him, I'm not going down. I'm not going down. You could tell because he was on the verge of, he was getting hit with some heavy shit. All right, but after the first round, Tucker kind of regained his composure, man, and was in a slugfest nonetheless. But he regained his composure and started hitting Nicholas with some shit, in a back and forth contest, man. Jahai was taking a lot of punches. I didn't like I wouldn't have liked for him to take. I feel like he's more of a boxer than a brawler. And he got into a brawling match because he was mad at his opponent. He wasn't listening to his corner or anything. His dad was telling him, to box and to cut this bullshit out. He would not listen. He fucking was not sitting down in his corner. He wasn't drinking water. The ref, would tell him something. He was telling him to break specifically. He wouldn't break. He would hit Nicholas after the break. Well, they was hitting each other. I'm not gonna put that all on Jahai. They was hitting each other. Like I said, it was a lot of bad blood. But Jahai was, like I said, standing up, yelling at Nicholas in between rounds, and it was just he was disobedient in this fight, man. And moving forward, you cannot be like that, Jahai, man. You have got to use your strengths. It's a lot of hard-hitting punchers at 154 pounds, man. You can't brawl with them all, man. You will get your ass put to bed. Use your skills, man. Box. I did not like seeing that from Jahai Tucker, man. But like I said, it was a lot of bad blood, and he ended up, did winning the fight, man. All three judges had it 77-74 for Jahai Tucker, giving them the unanimous decision win. But like I said, it was a lot of shit I seen that I didn't like. But good job getting that win, Jahai Tucker. And like I said, after the fight, he was still talking about that Xander Zayas shit. He want to see Xander, which I feel, bro, calm down. You just got to 154. Xander is a dog at that weight. Calm down. I don't think you want no smoke with Xander. That's just my opinion, though. But good job getting that win, Jahai Tucker, at the new weight. All right. Next fight I want to talk about was the co-main. It was a 10-round contest of featherweight. Featherweight is 126 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Joet Gonzalez versus Jose Enrique Vivas. Joet Gonzalez was 25-3, 15 KOs, and he's from Glendora, California. All right, Jose Enrique Vivas was 22-2, 11 KOs from Mexico. All right, this was Joet Gonzalez, other chance, man. He had a lot of chances. Every time he's moved up, in my opinion, I feel like he's lost. And I wanted to say, I'm a big Joet Gonzalez fan. I like Joet Gonzalez a lot. I just feel like he's fought, top tier opponents, and he's lost in those fights. So I was rooting for Joet Gonzalez in this fight. It was a back and forth, fight, man. It was a slugfest with Joet getting the upper hand, in my opinion. And then the judges agreed with me, actually. One judge had to fight 99-91, and the final two judges had to fight 98-92. All for your winner, Joet Gonzalez, getting that unanimous decision win. Good job, Joet. It was, like I said, it was a good win for Joet, putting him back on the right track, man. It was a big fight. He's finally got a win in one of those big fights, man, that's going to put him back on track for bigger fights, at the featherweight division. And it's a lot. He could be champion at the featherweight division. It's a lot of weaker, I ain't going to say weaker champions at the featherweight division. You got Mauricio Lore, you got it's a lot of people a couple champions who is nothing to write home about. I forget the other champions, but I know you got Mauricio Lore, you got you got who just won the champion, and you got the main event in this contest who just won. He's he's about the strongest featherweight champion. I ain't gonna give away that ending, but who's the I forgot him. I know it twists the tip of my tongue, but if you know, slap it in the comments. All right, but good job, Joet Gonzalez, getting that win. All right, let's get to the main event. Hold on. It was a 12-round contest at 126 pounds. 126 pounds is featherweight, as I just stated. All right, it was for the vacant featherweight belt, the WBO featherweight belt. It was Robeisy Ramirez versus Isaac Dogboe. Robeisy Ramirez was 11-0, 7 KOs. He's from Cuba, and he's a two-time Olympic gold medalist. His opponent, Isaac Dogboe, was 24-2, 15 KOs. He is the former WBO junior featherweight champ, and he's with his new trainer, Barry Hunter. Which I think his second fight with Barry Hunter. All right, Ramirez's fame was really giving Dogboe problems, causing hesitation for Dogboe. Barry Hunter was giving Dogboe some great motivation from the corner. Man, I feel like he was doing his job exceptionally well. Good job, Barry Hunter, in that aspect. It was a good back and forth contest, man, up until the 6th round. You know, in the second half of the fight, when it was a different story. Dogboe was getting his ass beat, man. Pause. And he even got knocked down in the final round, man. Yeah, man. One judge gave the fight, had the fight scored 117-110 for Ramirez. Another judge had the fight 118-109 for Ramirez. And a final judge had to fight 119-108. All for Robeisy Ramirez, giving Robeisy Ramirez the unanimous decision win and making him the new WBO featherweight champion of the world. After a long road, he came from Cuba. He got what was it? They kicked him out the country, or I think he left the country. Don't get me the line, but I know he's not in his country no more. He won the gold medals. He got a tattoo of the Olympic rings. They cut the Olympic rings out his arm. So I guess he had said he had enough. Yeah, he left and got up out of there, and man, came to America, lost his first professional fight, and now he's champion of the world, man. So he overcame a lot of shit, showing a lot of perseverance, man, and heart. Good job, Robeisy Ramirez, getting that win, becoming champion, man. Good job. It's a lot of work for him at featherweight, man. I like to see Robeisy Ramirez in there with a Brandon Figueroa, a Manuel Navarrete. It's a lot of work for him to get at 126 pounds, and a lot of money for him to make. So I'm looking forward to Robeisy Ramirez's future, man, and some future big money fights with him in it. Good job, Robeisy Ramirez. All right, that was it for the fights that happened last weekend, April 1st. It was a pretty smooth weekend of boxing with that Anthony Joshua card, him getting back to his winning ways, and with that Robeisy Ramirez card, him becoming champion, and a lot of young prospects on there displaying their talents, which ESPN always has, man. Like I told you, they're the best in the business, man. Bob Arum always outdoes himself, man, with the young prospects and the undercards, man. So good job, Bob Arum, ESPN, and yeah. Like I said, it was a nice DAZN card. I wish I could have gotten it a little more, but it's a lot of fights coming up this upcoming weekend, so I want to focus more on that, than that. So, but good job, both promotional companies, and good job, all the fighters on both of the cards, because like I said, you can't play boxing. All right, let's talk about the fights that's going to happen this upcoming weekend, Saturday, April 8th, man. First card I want to talk about is going to happen in Newark, New Jersey on ESPN Plus. Like I said, it was Saturday, April 8th. It's a top-ranked card. Top rank is Bob Arum and all those guys, man. It's going to come on at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And this is not You know, and this is the same as the other ESPN card, a stacked ESPN card, man, with young prospects. So let's get into it. The main event is going to be a 12-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds, if you didn't know. It's WBC lightweight title eliminator. It's Shakur Stevenson versus Shirisho Yashino, a Japan fighter. All right, Shakur Stevenson is 19-0, 9 KOs, 25 years of age. He's a southpaw. He stands at 5'7" with a 68-inch reach. He's from Newark, New Jersey, so this is a hometown fight for him. He's a 2016 Olympic silver medalist, and he's the former WBO featherweight champion, former WBO super featherweight champion, and this is his first fight at 135 pounds, looking to become lightweight champion eventually, man. All right, let's get to his opponent, Shirashino Yashino. He's 16-0, 12 KOs, 31 years of age. He's an orthodox style fighter, so it's orthodox versus southpaw, which is always an interesting clash of styles. He stands at 5'9" with a 68-inch reach. He's from Tokyo, Japan. He beat Nakatani his last fight, who was 20-2. And that fight transpired November of 2022. It was a 6th-round KO win for Yashino, which was an impressive win. I think Lomachenko beat Nakatani by unanimous decision, and I think T.O. beat him by unanimous decision, and Lomo beat him by like 8th-round KO. So that was an impressive win, getting him out of there in the 6th round, man. And I think this is Yoshino's first fight in America, man. I haven't watched a whole video, a whole fight of his, but he looks good in the highlights. So let's see how he looks in a whole fight against Shakur Stevenson, man, which nobody looks good against. Quick thoughts, predictions. I feel like I said, nobody has looked good against Shakur Stevenson. I don't think this guy's going to look good against him, which is, a bummer because he's 16-0 and he's beat Nakatani, so he is a good fighter. But I'm pretty sure Shakur Stevenson's going to make him look very mediocre and not let him get his shit off. And, yeah, man, I say a unanimous decision win for Shakur Stevenson, man. Make your shit look easy. Probably win every round, man. Don't get touched. Like I said, he's my favorite fucking fighter in boxing, man. So don't, if you want to hear some criticism about Shakur Stevenson, don't come to Rob's World of Boxing, because you probably won't hear it, because I don't have, nothing negative to say about the guy, man. Boxing skills wise, he's amazing. So, yeah, unanimous decision win for Shakur Stevenson. All right, let's talk about the next fight on the card. It's a 10-round contest at heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. It's Jared Big Baby Anderson versus George Aries. Jared Big Baby Anderson is 13-0, 13 KOs, 23 years of age. He's an orthodox style fighter. He stands at 6'4" with a 78.5-inch reach. He's from Toledo, Ohio, and he's KO'd every man that he's been in there with, man. He's the future at the heavyweight division, Jared Big Baby Anderson. Let's get to his opponent, George Aries. George Aries is 18-0 with 7 KOs. He's 31 years of age, orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'11" with a 74-inch reach. He's from the DR. And honestly, never heard of George Aries, but he is undefeated, so I'm going to put some respect on his name. I think this is the first undefeated fighter Big Baby's getting in there with, man. So it should be a pretty interesting fight. Well, not really. I think Big Baby's going to put George to bed in front of all those people, which he does to everyone everyone he's been in the ring with. So, a quick prediction, I say a 4th-round KO win for Jared Big Baby Anderson. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. 10-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds. As I said in the beginning of the video, it's Keyshawn Davis versus Anthony Yiggett. Keyshawn Davis is 7-0, 5 KOs, 24 years of age. He's orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'9" with a 70-inch reach, and he's from Norfolk, Virginia. He's a 2020 U.S. Olympic silver medalist. He's one of Tim Bradley's double stamp prospects, and he's an amazing young talent. The businessman, Keyshawn Davis. All right, versus his opponent, Anthony Yiggett. Anthony Yiggett is 26-2, 1 draw, 10 KOs. He's 31 years of age. He's a southpaw, so clash of styles again. He stands at 5'8" with a 66-inch reach. He's from Sweden. He lost to Ivan Baranchenko, who was 18-0 by 7th round corner stoppage loss, because he lost. That fight happened October of 2018, and he also lost to Rolly Romero when Rolly Romero was 13-0 by 7th round TKO, and that fight transpired July of 2021. Anthony Yiggett. This is a step up for Keyshawn Davis, man. Well, all his whole career has been step ups. He's been moved along at a quick pace, man. Yeah, I see a quick prediction. I see a 6-round KO win for Keyshawn Davis. Continuing his winning ways and continuing his path of destruction. Keyshawn Davis. All right, next fight I want to talk about. It's 8-round contest, heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. It's Damian Napa versus Curtis Harper. Damian Napa is 10-0, 6 KOs, 27 years of age. Orthodox style fighter, stands at 6'7" with an 86-inch reach from Poland. And honestly, never heard of Damian Napa, but he looks good on paper. His opponent, Curtis Harper. Curtis Harper is 14-8, 9 KOs. He's 34 years of age. Orthodox style fighter, stands at 6'2" with a 78.5-inch reach from Jacksonville, Florida. And Curtis Harper is known for the shortest boxing match in history. I think it lasted like a second long. As soon as the bell rang, he walked out against Effie Ajaba, man. He said it was like a contract dispute, but it looked like he was scared as fuck. So he got up out of there when he seen Effie Ajaba in the opposite corner. I feel like Damian Napa, like I said, he looks good on paper. I feel like he should get the win against, somebody of Curtis Harper caliber, So I say unanimous decision win for Damian Napa, just because I never seen him, and Curtis Harper is tough. I have seen him fight. He is tough. You know what? Fuck that. I say a 4th round KO win for Damian Napa. He's tough, but he has a lack of heart. So he might want to go home and get something to eat or watch something on TV, and because his head is not all the way in the sport, and he might just take a dive. So 4th round KO win for Damian Napa. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's an 8-round contest in middleweight. Middleweight is 160 pounds. If you didn't know, it's Troy Isley versus Roy Behringer. Troy Isley is 8-0, 4 KOs, 24 years of age. He's orthodox style fighter, stands at 5'10" with a 69.5-inch reach. He's from Washington, D.C. His alias is the Transformer. He's a 2020 U.S. Olympian. I think he lost in the round of 16. All right, let's get to his opponent, Roy Behringer. Roy Behringer is 9-3, 6 KOs, 33 years of age. He's from Toledo, Ohio. And honestly, I've never heard of Roy Behringer, but he looks like he's a layup for Troy Isley, to get a KO win, man, which he hasn't got in a couple of his last fights, man. But I fully expect him, quick prediction, I fully expect him to get the KO win in this opponent. Well, against this opponent. I say a 5th round KO win for Troy Isley, getting back to his KOing ways. Let me get some water. Hold on. All right. Next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's going to be an 8-round contest of featherweight. Featherweight is 126 pounds. As I done said hella times in this video, so you should know by now. All right, it's Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington versus Brandon Chalmers. Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington is 6-0, 3 KOs, 25 years of age. He's Orthodox style fighter. He's from Brooklyn, New York. He stands at 5'8" with a 72-inch reach. And he's a good-looking young prospect, man. I like Bruce a lot. Pause. Let's get to his opponent, Brandon Chalmers. Brandon Chalmers is 9-0, 5 KOs. He's 36 years of age. He's Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'5". He's from Kentucky. He started his pro career at 31 years of age. So, yeah, I haven't heard of him. Yeah, 31 is late as hell. I was thinking about being a boxer at 31. I was like, hell no. I'm like, what? Hell no. I'm going to get my ass beat. But, yeah, he started. So, and he's 9-0, man. So he's doing what he's supposed to do, man. He's chasing his dreams, man. But I don't think he has what it takes at 36 years of age to, compete with a young bull and Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington, man. I see Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington getting rid of the OG, man, in about 2 rounds, man. I said a 2nd round KO Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington. All right, let's talk about the next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's a 6-round contest at junior welterweight. Junior welterweight is 140 pounds. If you didn't know, it's Kelvin Davis versus Nelson Morales. Kelvin Davis is 7-0, 5 KOs, 26 years of age. He's a southpaw. He stands at 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. He's from Norfolk, Virginia. He's the brother of Keyshawn Davis, and he's the oldest out of all the DB3 clan, man. Kelvin Davis. Let's get to his opponent, Nelson Morales. Nelson Morales is 3-4, no KOs. I repeat, 0 KOs. He's 31 years of age, Orthodox style fighter, another clash of styles. He stands at 5'10" with a 72-inch reach. He's from the DR, and Nelson Morales has lost 4 of his last 5 fights. So yeah, he needs a win, to say the least. I think Kelvin Davis is gonna, show in this fight. Have a good showing, and I say Nelson Morales don't have any KOs, so I think they're trying to, make sure Kelvin gets a KO. So I say a 1st round KO win for Kelvin Davis. Keeping his hope alive, man, getting that win. All right, that's it for that fight card. It's going to happen. That's Shakur Stevenson. It's going to be on ESPN Plus, Shakur Stevenson main event, and can tune in. Like I said, that's my favorite fucking fighter, man. So, and like I said, the rest of the card, and then like you've heard, the rest of the card is going to be a stacked card. All right, let's talk about the next card. It's going to happen Saturday, April 8th. This card is going to be in Tokyo, Japan. It's also going to be a ESPN Plus Top Rank card. Top Rank is Bob Arum, all those guys. It's going to come on at 3 a.m. I repeat, 3 a.m. Eastern time, man. So I'm honestly probably not going to be able to watch that fight. If you can, more power to you. It's a title fight. All right. It's a 10-round contest, where the main event is a 10-round contest of junior flyweight. Junior flyweight is 108 pounds. If you didn't know, it's for Kenshiro Tahaji's WBC, WBA junior flyweight belts. It's Kenshiro Taraji versus Anthony Olasugu. Kenshiro Taraji is 21, 12 KOs, 31 years of age, Orthodox style fighter, stands at 5'5" with a 64-inch reach. He's from Japan, and like I said, he's the WBA and WBC champ. His opponent, Anthony Olasugu. He's 5-0, 3 KOs, 24 years of age. He's Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'4", and he's from LA. He's trying to become champ, man. Kinda fast in his career, but is it too early? And I know that's not how you pronounce his last name. I'll butcher this shit. It is what it is. Make me know it. All right. Like I said, it's early in his career, man. He's 5-0. He's going against the champ, man. I don't know how the hell, who do you know to get that shot? But they really don't have a lot of competitors at the weight, man. The weight is kind of, top heavy. It's not deep at all. Quick prediction. I say Cheryl Taraji's gonna retain his belt, man, against a fighter who's 5-0. He should retain his belt. I say unanimous decision win for Cheryl Taraji. All right, next fight I want to talk about on that card is a 12-round contest at bantamweight. Bantamweight is 118 pounds. This fight is for the vacant WBA bantamweight title. So it's a couple title fights on this card. All right, it's Tacoma Inoue versus Laribel Solis. Takoya Inoue is 17-1, 4 KOs, 27 years of age, orthodox style fighter, stands at 5'4.5" with a 64-inch reach from Japan, and he lost to Nordine Obali when Obali was 16-0 by unanimous decision, November of 2019, in a title fight for Obali's WBA belt. It was Takoma's first shot at a belt, man, and he lost. He's trying to see if he can get the win this time against Liberio Solis. Liberio Solis is 35-6, 1 draw, 16 KOs. He's 41. Is that Jesus? Yeah, he's up there. He's 41 years of age, orthodox style fighter, stands at 5'4" with a 68-inch reach from Venezuela. His last loss was to Guillermo Rigondeaux when Rigondeaux was 19-1 by split decision. And that fight was February of 2020. I've never seen the whole fight of Solis's, but he looked good in the highlights. So let's see if he can get the job done versus Tacoma Inoue and become champ. Quick prediction. I see Tacoma Inoue getting the job done this fight, and getting over that hump, and getting that belt, man. Against Solis, man. I say a unanimous decision win for Tacoma Inoue. All right, next fight I want to talk about on that card is a 12-round contest of featherweight. Featherweight is 126 pounds. If you didn't know, it's Kiko Martinez versus Rhea Abe. Kiko Martinez is 44-11, 2 draws, 31 KOs. He's 37 years of age. He's an orthodox style fighter, stands at 5'5" with a 66-inch reaching from Spain. And he did not retire after losing his belt to Josh Warrington a couple of fights back, which I felt like he should have done. But he said, hey, fuck you, Rob. I ain't return. I'm going to keep it lit. And that's what he's doing against his opponent, Rhea Abe. He's 24-3, 1 draw, 10 KOs, 30 years of age. He's a southpaw. He stands at 5'7.5". He's from Japan. And I haven't heard of him. But let's see if we can get the job done versus Kiko Martinez. I feel like Kiko Martinez, probably, he's probably brought here because of his name. I feel like Ab might win this fight, man. He looks pretty good on paper. He is a Japan fighter fighting in Japan, so Kiko might have to knock him out. So I say an upset, man, in that fight. I get a win to Ab. I say unanimous decision win to Abe. Abe. All right, that's it for that card. It's gonna happen in Japan. Early morning card that I know a lot of people won't watch, but I know a lot of people in Japan is gonna tune in. So yeah, let me know how it was, man. People in Japan, slap it in the comments. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch the highlights. All right, next fight card I want to talk about. It's gonna transpire Saturday. Also, it's gonna transpire Saturday, April 8th. This fight card is going to be in San Antonio, Texas. It's a DAZN card. In this case, DAZN is a Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, all those guys. Also, it's going to be a couple title fights on this card as well. It's going to come on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, the main event is going to be a 12-round contest at flyweight. Flyweight is 112 pounds. If you didn't know, it's going to be for the vacant WBO flyweight belt. It's Jesse Bam Rodriguez versus Christian Gonzalez. Jesse Bam Rodriguez is 17-0, 11 KOs, 23 years of age. He's a southpaw. He stands at 5'4" with a 67-inch reach. He's from San Antonio, Texas. He's the WBC super flyweight champ. And Bam Rodriguez was the youngest champion in boxing. I don't know if that still stands, but I know he for sure was the youngest champion in boxing. Bam Rodriguez. He's a fucking star, and he goes crazy. If you didn't know, now you know. All right. His opponent, Christian Gonzalez. Christian Gonzalez is 15-1, 5 KOs, age unknown. I don't know. I couldn't find it. He's from Mexico, and I've never heard of Christian Gonzalez. Yeah, quick thoughts. It don't matter if I did hear him. Bam, gonna beat him. You know, I say a third round KO win for Bam Rodriguez, making him the new WBO flyweight champion, man. I don't know if that, if he got rid of his belt as, Superfly, or he's gonna keep, I don't know how that's gonna work, but I know he's gonna win this belt too. Bam look like he's just trying to clean up every division, that he's around, and i.e. Gervonta Davis, if he got to move up, move down, just beat him. Just get the belts. That's what I see Bam doing, man. Like I said, he's a star. All right, next fight I want to talk about on that card. It's a 12-round contest of junior featherweight. Junior featherweight is 122 pounds. If you did know, it's Murad Akhmadaliev versus Marlon Tapales. It's for Akhmadaliev's WBA and IBF 122-pound belts. Marjan Akhmadaliev is 11-0, 8 KOs, 28 years of age. He's a southpaw. He stands at 5'5" with a 68-inch reach from Uzbekistan. He's a 2016 Olympic bronze medalist, and he's the WBA and IBF champ, which he has been since 2020, man. He's ranked the world's best junior featherweight by Ring Magazine, which I would beg to differ, but hey, they've ranked him the best. Murajan Akhmadaliev. All right, his opponent, Marlon Tapales. Marlon Tapales is 36-3, 19 KOs, 31 years of age. He's a southpaw. Battle of the Southpaws. He stands at 5'4" with a 65-inch reach from the Philippines. I've never seen or heard of Marlon, but honestly, I bet he's probably he fights like Manny Pacquiao with that in and out style, which a lot of fighters from the Philippines idolize Manny Pacquiao, so they fight with that style. And I don't feel like Marlon's probably going to be any exception. I haven't seen him at all, but I could put my money on it. And quick prediction, I feel like MJ, should retain his belts, against a fighter I never heard of. He fights a lot of fighters I've never heard of. I'm ready for him to fight somebody I have heard of. But like I said, I feel like he should retain his belts to this fight. I say unanimous decision win for MJ, to keep them belts. All right. Next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's a 10-round contest, featherweight. Featherweight is 126 pounds. If you did know, it's Raymond Ford versus Jesse Magdaleno. Raymond Ford is 13-0, 1 draw, 7 KOs. Fuck am I talking about? 24 years of age. He's a southpaw. He stands at 5'7". He's from Camden, New Jersey. He's a nice-looking young prospect. Not the best, but decent. And he's stepping up in this fight against his opponent, Jesse Magdaleno. Jesse Magdaleno is 29-1, 18 KOs, 31 years of age. Is a southpaw. Just to make things interesting. Well, not really. Southpaw versus southpaw. He stands at 5'4" with a 66-inch reach. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada. His only loss was versus Isaac Dogbay when Dogbay was 18-0. It was an 11th round KO loss to Dogbay, April of 2018. So he got put to bed. All right. Quick predictions. I really like, well, not really. I like Raymond Ford. He's, like I said, he's a decent fighter. Uh, I say upset, man. I say Magdaleno is probably gonna exploit Ford in this fight, man. I think he might. Think he might. His power might get to Ford, man. I say a ninth round KO win. Jesse Magdaleno getting that win versus Raymond Ford. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's a 10-round contest. Junior lightweight is 130 pounds. Did no. It's Thomas Matisse versus Ramiro Casino. Thomas Matisse is 20-3, 1 draw, 15 KOs, 32 years of age. He's an Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'9" with a 73-inch reach. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. He's a decent fighter, but honestly, he's never really lived up to his potential. Let's see if he can get the win versus Ramiro Casino. Ramiro Casino is 16-0, 1 draw, 13 KOs, 23 years of age, Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'8" with a 68.5-inch reach from Mexico. And honestly, I've never seen this guy, but he looks good on paper. And I feel like he looks so good on paper, he should get the win versus Thomas Matisse, man, if he's that good. But we shall see. I say 7th round KO win from Ramiro Cezina. Quick prediction. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's an 8-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds. Did no. It's Mark Castro versus Ricardo Torres. Mark Castro is 9-0, 6 KOs, 23 years of age. He's an Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'7". He's from Fresno, California. He's an okay looking prospect. He's young, but he has a big fan base too, man. Out there in Fresno, they love them some more Castro. So I feel like Top Rank is doing well. The right thing by pushing him along. Well, Top Rank, sorry about that. The Zone, by pushing them along slowly, and building them up, man, so they can get that money out of Fresno. All right, his opponent, Ricardo Torres. Ricardo Torres is 16-6, 3 draws, 11 KOs, 25 years of age. He's an Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'6". He's from Mexico, and honestly, I've never heard of him as well. Either. Mark Castro should get the win versus a guy I never heard of who's lost 6 fights. Even though he has slow feet, Mark Castro being very slow feet, and he's flat-footed in there. He reminds me of Zerto Ramirez at a lightweight. I feel like Mark Castro should get it unanimous decision win versus Ricardo Torres. All right, that's it for that card. It's gonna be a smooth, card. Not the best, not the worst. A pretty decent, man. Pretty good card. If you couldn't, check it out. All right. Like I said, it's a busy weekend of boxing, boy. I know y'all. It's a lot for me saying it. I know it's a lot. It's gonna be a lot for y'all watching, and a lot for me watching it too, man. So, yeah. All right. Last fight card I want to talk about. It's gonna also transpire Saturday, April 8th. This fight card. Hold on. This fight card is going to be in Carson, California. It's a Showtime card. Showtime is PBC, Al Heyman. All those guys going to come on at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. 10 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, the main event is going to be Sebastian Fundora versus Brian Mendoza. Sebastian Fundora is 20-0, 1 draw, 13 KOs. He's 25 years of age. He's a southpaw. He stands at 6'5.5" with an 80-inch reach. He's from West Palm Beach, Florida. His draw came from a fight with Jamonte Clark when Jamonte Clark was 14-1, and that fight transpired August of 2019. And with his height and his reach, Sebastian Fundora is a fucking problem at 154 pounds. Let's get to his opponent. Brian Mendoza. Brian Mendoza is 21-2, 15 KOs, 29 years of age. He's Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'10" with a 70-inch reach from Albuquerque, New Mexico. He lost by unanimous decision to Jose Ramos. His last fight, well, not his last fight, a couple fights back, who is a beast. So that's nothing to be ashamed about. Jose Ramos beat him September of 2021. Jesus Ramos, excuse me. Jesus. All right, quick predictions, thoughts on this fight. I feel like this is a smooth fight for Sebastian Fundora, home, basically, of course, California. He's been residing in Coachella, California, so it's basically a hometown fight for him, you know, to showcase his talents. Yeah, and I feel like that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to showcase his talents versus Brian Mendoza. I don't feel like Brian Mendoza is on his level. I feel like Sebastian Fundora should be fighting, you know, for the belts, or Tim Tszyu, or Tony Harrison, or Danny Garcia. You know, those caliber fighters. Not disrespecting Brian Mendoza or anything, but those caliber fighters. And if it's not those caliber fighters, I feel like he's going to make easy work of them, man. You know, and like I said, I don't see Brian Mendoza being any exception. I'd say a 5th round KO win for Sebastian Fundora, continuing his winning ways. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's a 10-round contest. It's junior welterweight. Junior welterweight is 140 pounds. If it did, no. It's Brandon Lee versus Pedro Campa. Brandon Lee is 27-0, 23 KOs, 23 years of age, Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'10" with a 71-inch reach from Yuba City, California. He got dropped a couple fights back versus Will Madera when Madera was 17-1. Then his last fight was on a prelim, you know, not even on the main card, not even on TV. It was on a prelim. So now he's out the doghouse and on the co-main against his opponent, Pedro Campa. Let's see if he can get a win. Pedro Campa is 34-2, 1 draw, 23 years of age. He's with 23 KOs, excuse me. Damn, this long video. He's 31 years of age, Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'9" with a 67-inch reach from Mexico. His last fight was a loss his last loss, was a loss versus Teofimo Lopez by 7th round TKO, and that fight transpired August of 2022. His other loss came in 2017 versus a fighter who was 11-8-1. You know, so yeah, I don't know how he lost that fight, you know, but it was a long time ago. That's something, you know. Nope. But he did lose. All right, let's see if we can get the win versus Brandon Lee. Quick predictions, thoughts on the fight. I feel like it's a step-up fight for Brandon Lee, man. And Brandon Lee showed, you know, he really don't have a chin, man. How he went down like a Jabberwocky. Like he was face planting in that fight with Will Madera. And it was an ugly knockdown, man. I can't forget it, man. But I don't feel like Pedro Campa is the man to get the job done and put that loss on him. You know, his first loss on him. I say a unanimous decision win for Brandon Lee. You know, continuing his winning ways. And, yeah, man. Trying to get that Jabberwocky handstand out of our heads. You know, with another win. Brandon Lee. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's going to be an 8-round contest at featherweight. Featherweight is 126 pounds. If you didn't know, it's going to be Luis Nunez versus Christian Oliveira. Luis Nunez is 18-0, 13 KOs, 23 years of age. He stands at 5'7" with a 67-inch reach from the DR. His 80s is the twist. He loves doing a twist in there. He loves dancing. Maybe he should have been on ABDC like the Jabberwockies, man. And he's a nice-looking young prospect, Luis Nunez. His opponent, Christian Oliveira. Christian Oliveira is 20-0, one draw, 7 KOs. He's 24 years of age, Orthodox style fighter. He stands at 5'5". He's from Mexico. I've never heard of Christian Oliveira. But he looks good on paper. He's 20-0. He's an undefeated fighter, man. So somebody, gotta go, which always makes things a little interesting. Well, a little more interesting. I feel like Luis Nunez, like I said, he's a good-looking young prospect. I'll put my money on him, to get that win. Freaking, I say a 7th round KO win for Luis Nunez. Continue with his winning ways and dancing his way, to a win. All right. Also on the card, you have Frank Martin, heavyweight contender. He's going to be in a 10-round contest versus a guy named Daniel Marks, who's 20-10 with one draw, 17 KOs. I don't know if I stated Frank Martin is 21-0 with 14 KOs. And I feel like Frank Martin is going to make easy work of that guy, man. Frank Martin is an exceptional heavyweight with exceptional skills. Which you really don't see at the heavyweight division. Those guys are usually big and strong with a lot of power, but he has skills, man, i.e. Alexander Usyk, man. So you don't really see too many heavyweights with skills. Him and Usyk are a couple of the only ones I could come off top of my head. I feel like, quick prediction, I feel like Frank Martin's going to get the unanimous decision win versus a guy who's lost. Fuck that. Frank Martin going to knock him out. He's lost 10 times. I say a 6th round KO win for Frank Martin. All right. Also on the card, you got Gabriela Fundora, Sebastian's little sister. She's 10-0 with 4 KOs. She's going to be on the card versus Maria Santiago, who's 11-2 with 6 KOs. So it's a showcase for both of the Fundoras, man, the sister and the brother, putting on in front of, like I said, basically their hometown. She's going to be in an 8-round fight at flyweight, and flyweight is 112 pounds, if you didn't know. So let's see what Gabriela can do. I feel like she's going to, put on a show. She's a good-looking young female prospect, man. So I say a unanimous decision win, Gabriela. Continue her winning ways as well. All right, that's it for the Showtime card. It's going to be a nice Showtime card. It's going to be an amazing weekend of boxing, man. An amazing weekend. It's going to be crowded, though. I don't know why they always do that, put all the cards on at once. It's going to be a lot of cards on them same night, man. So if you can, tune in, watch it, man. It's going to be a hell of a weekend of boxing. I can't wait. All right, other news. Rest in peace to Ken Buchanan, a Scotland boxer, man, a Scotland boxing legend, known for fighting Roberto Duran in his first fight in America, man. Scotland's first undisputed champion, man. Josh Taylor's idol, man. Josh Taylor said he's very sad. Says Ken Buchanan was his hero, and let's see if it lights fuel under his fight. Well, what puts the fire, under his ass, man, for his fight with Teofimo Lopez, man. More fire than he had with Jack Catterall, man. I think Teofimo might be in trouble, man. The man's idol just passed away, man. He might come take that anger and that sadness out on you, man. Hopefully for Josh Taylor, if that's the case. Hopefully it's not for Teo, But nonetheless, man, R.I.P. Ken Buchanan. Rest up, big dog. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that shit, people. Rive's Road of Boxing. Yeah.